a lot, Maria. It doesn't matter where we are. You're always tossing to me, and I appreciate it. Hey, with predictions, this could be the coldest Super Bowl ever. I know it's the coldest Wednesday before the Super Bowl ever. The chilly weather has become a factor in Sunday's face-off. How it would play out in the game. Here's a guy that deals with it in all types of weather. Talking about Broncos, Seahawks, but I'm talking about Saints quarterback Drew Brees. Quite possibly the best in the game right now. Now, what's going to be the difference, Drew? Thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
What's going to be the difference out there today in terms of what team do you think is going to be more effective on the weather?
I think it's going to clear up obviously by game day. So if it was a day like today where you're in the teens, maybe that has a difference. But it seems like it's going to be in the 30s, which both these teams play in that kind of temperature all the time. So I don't think it'll have that big of a difference.
Well, you have one thing about Peyton Manning. I wanted to ask you too. Since he came back from the surgery, he's wearing gloves. I mean, how do you wear gloves? How do you feel the ball when you play wearing gloves?
Yeah, you know what? I've worn gloves before. I think the one thing that you actually lose is a little bit of feel, but you are able to spin it. You get great grip. You see more and more guys going to it, and some guys it's just for wet weather. Some guys it's for cold. Other guys, kind of do it full time now. It seems like he's gone to it full time. Obviously, it's working out just fine for him.
And it's worth noting, too, the last time he was in the Super Bowl was against your Saints. A lot of people were saying Peyton Manning, the Colts are going to be tough to beat, maybe impossible, and you guys shocked him on an unbelievable second half. So it can be done, even with the greatest players. Having said that, Russell Wilson is a young star on and off the field. He always talks about as a 10th grader going to Peyton Manning's passing camp. Yeah. He also reached out to you this week. He says, the quote was, "I just looked up to him my whole life. I just want to feel like I get his advice about handling Super Bowl week in the big game."
Yeah, it's flattering him reaching out and me having a chance to, I guess, just give a little bit of advice, really just kind of reflect my experience from the Super Bowl and anything that might help him along the way. I know that I was given that.
Were you ready, yeah. As young as he was, when you were with the Chargers, were you ready to play in the big game back then?
Oh, listen, he is far beyond where I was and where most guys are as young players. He is mature beyond his years. So he's one of those guys that's going to try to do everything he can to prepare himself and gain as much knowledge as he can along the way, seek out advice from a lot of people, and he's going to be ready to play this game. But I've been so impressed with the way that he's handled himself, both on and off the field, and certainly he's put himself in a great position to win a world championship.
There's another thing important here in New York City. This is Super Bowl Boulevard. It's a little colder, but it's going to be packed here beginning today. But also, you're going to be able to see something that you're involved with Verizon here on right here in Times Square.
Well, it's pretty cool. Verizon has a campaign going on right now, actually encouraging fans to try to pick the winner. And so they want them to go on Twitter and go hashtag who's going to win. And so make your predictions, and at 6 o'clock every night on the Empire State Building, it's going to light up with all the tweets of fans picking the winner. And they're actually asking a different question each day specifically, and today's question is, who's going to dominate the passing game? So in addition to the hashtag who's going to win, throw in there who you think is going to dominate this passing game. I think both teams, obviously, look at the season Peyton Manning had in the passing game, unbelievable. And of course, Russell Wilson has the ability to make all kinds of plays outside the pocket.
Right. Russell Wilson's numbers have not been great in the playoffs. As a quarterback, when you see him coming up with big plays with not big numbers. What does that mean to you?
He's playing winning football. I know this. He played great last year in the playoffs in the two games they played at Washington and then at Atlanta. Almost beat Atlanta, who was the number 1 seed. This year they're 2-0 in the playoffs. So here he is 3-1 in the playoffs over the last 2 years and playing in the Super Bowl. So you're never going to complain about winning football games.
Absolutely. So Dan Marino was on our couch yesterday, and he said, I was one of the youngest starting quarterbacks ever, the quickest to get to the Super Bowl ever. Yeah. Thought for sure I was getting back there. You have a Super Bowl under your belt right now, but now you're 35 years old as of this week. You just turned 35. How much would it mean to you to get another shot? Does it mean more, or does it make you feel kind of relaxed knowing you got a ring already?
No, it's what I think about every day. Every day I prepare to make it back and have a chance to win a world championship. That's what drives you, especially once you've tasted it. Because once you know that feeling, that's all you want. And to be able to share it with the guys in the locker room and the team that you suit up with each and every week, that's what it's all about.
So, Drew Brees, it's also something else that people know about you. You did how many USO tours?
5.
You did 5 tours. You're very synonymous with the military. You've also taken, I think, didn't you go up in a jet, too, yourself?
I've actually had the chance to go up in an F-15, F-16, and an F-18.
So you had to fly before. When that flyover happens in an open-air stadium for the Super Bowl, for me, that's the great moment.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that going to be like? You're going to probably be watching at home.
Oh, listen, it gets you jacked up. I mean, there's nothing like it. Obviously, the adrenaline of the game, just knowing that you're about to play in the most important game of your life, and then all the festivities. I mean, all the lights, all the cameras, all the fireworks, and then the jets go flying over, and then you finally get a chance to play the game. But I think the key is just kind of reeling in your emotions early on, just because there's so many festivities, so much going on. You just want to try to push those distractions to the side as much as you can, hone in on the game.
And they say the quickest to the team that realizes quickest it's just another game is the team that's going to win.
Yeah.
Drew, thanks so much. Thanks for braving the cold. This guy can handle it. He usually does it in short sleeves. Thanks so much for joining us, and go hashtag for Verizon's new promotion. Meanwhile,